World War II was the most widespread and deadly conflict in human history. While tanks and bombers shaped the battlefield from afar, it was the infantrymen, the boots on the ground, who bore the brunt of the fighting. Across continents and campaigns, soldiers carried with them an array of weapons: rifles, pistols, submachine guns, and more. Today we dive into the core of the fighting force, the infantry weapons of each country in World War II. Germany entered the war with a blend of innovation and tradition. The backbone of the German infantry was the Karabiner 98K, a bolt-action rifle derived from the Mauser design, reliable, accurate, and powerful. For close-quarters combat, Germany pioneered submachine gun warfare with the MP40, a compact and fully automatic 9mm weapon issued widely to officers, tank crews, and stormtroopers. The MG-34 and later the MG-42 served as squad automatic weapons, providing devastating firepower and defining the German doctrine of mobile machine gun units supported by riflemen. Sidearms included the Luger P-08 early in the war, later replaced by the Walther P-38. Germany also fielded various anti-tank rifles and grenades, but it was the combination of precision rifles and aggressive SMG tactics that gave the Wehrmacht its early edge. American infantry was equipped with some of the most advanced and plentiful weapons of the war. The iconic M1 Garand was the first standard-issue semi-automatic rifle fielded by any military, a massive advantage in rate of fire and reliability. Supporting weapons included the M1 carbine, a lighter semi-auto used by support troops and paratroopers. For close-range combat, the Thompson submachine gun, Tommy gun, saw extensive service, along with the cheaper, more mass-produced M3 grease gun. Machine gun support came from the Browning automatic rifle, BAR, and the M1919 medium machine gun. The standard-issue sidearm was the powerful M1911.45 caliber pistol, a rugged and trusted companion for American officers. American weapons were known for their quality, firepower, and mass production, key elements that contributed to Allied victory. The Red Army faced unimaginable losses in brutal conditions, but it was armed with weapons that were simple, durable, and effective. The primary rifle was the Mosin-Nagant M9130, a bolt-action workhorse used by millions. Soviet infantry also relied heavily on the SVT-40, a semi-automatic rifle that, while not as widely issued as the Mosin, offered advanced features. The true standout was the PPSH-41, a 71-round drum-fed submachine gun that defined Soviet close-quarters combat, fast, cheap to produce, and deadly. The DP-28 light machine gun, with its distinctive pan magazine, provided suppressive fire. Officers and tank crews carried the Tokarev TT-33 pistol. Soviet weapons were tailored for mass production in harsh climates. They helped push back the Wehrmacht from the gates of Moscow to the heart of Berlin. British infantry entered the war with the tried-and-true Lee-Enfield No. 4 Mark I, arguably the fastest bolt-action rifle of the war, with its smooth action and 10-round magazine. For submachine guns, the British initially used the American Thompson, but quickly adopted the simple, cost-effective Sten gun, which became the quintessential British SMG. The Bren gun, a light machine gun with a top-mounted magazine, was a beloved tool for suppressive fire and accuracy. The Webley revolver and later the Lee-Enfield No. 2 served as standard sidearms. British doctrine emphasized marksmanship and squad-based tactics, and their weapons reflected a balance between innovation and tradition. Japanese infantry often fought in harsh terrain with limited supply, but they were equipped with unique and traditional weapons. The Arisaka Type 99 bolt-action rifle was the mainstay, rugged, powerful, and reliable. Earlier models included the Type 38, which fired a smaller 6.5mm round. The Japanese also used the Type 100 submachine gun, although it was relatively rare. Their light machine gun, the Type 96, was effective but complex. Officers carried the iconic Type 14 Nambu pistol, though it was underpowered and mechanically unreliable compared to Allied sidearms. Bayonets and swords were more commonly used in Japanese tactics, and their infantry doctrine heavily emphasized close-quarters combat and the warrior spirit. Italy's infantry weapons were often criticized for being outdated or unreliable. The primary rifle, the Carcano M91, was a bolt-action weapon that lacked the power and ruggedness of its contemporaries. Italy did field the Beretta M38 submachine gun, which was considered one of the best SMGs of the war. Accurate, controllable, and well-made. Light machine gun support came from the Breda Modello 30, but it was poorly designed and prone to jamming. Italian officers carried the Beretta M 1934 pistol, a small and sleek sidearm. While Italy's individual weapons showed moments of quality, they were hampered by poor logistics and inconsistent supply. France entered the war in 1939 with a mixture of World War I era and modernized weapons. The standard rifle was the MAS-36, a compact and robust bolt-action rifle introduced just before the war. Older rifles like the Liebel 1886 and Berthier series were also still in use. The French issued the Châtellerault FM 24/29 as their primary light machine gun, a reliable and respected weapon. For close quarters, France had limited submachine gun distribution, but some troops used the MAS-38 SMG. The Model 1935 pistol was the standard sidearm. After the fall of France in 1940, Free French forces adopted British and American arms in large numbers. World War II was not only a war of nations, ideologies, and technology, it was a war of soldiers, each armed with a rifle, a sidearm, or a machine gun. These weapons defined how the war was fought and, in many ways, how it was won. From the frozen steppes of Russia to the jungles of the Pacific, from the deserts of North Africa to the beaches of Normandy. Infantry weapons shaped the fate of the world. These were the tools of the infantrymen of World War II, the hands that held history. Which one do you think made the greatest impact? Let us know in the comments below.